How is everyone doing? This is Rob with Creators Camp Media. I'm going to be showing you guys a follow-up on a LinkedIn campaign that we did. We're still working on it. Actually, we just started it. This is for webinar funnels. If you guys aren't familiar with webinars, it's one-to-many. So it's a middle of the funnel conversion where you're educating, teaching. A lot of SaaS-based companies or financial services or B2B rely on this type, even capital raising, insurance. If you're not using a webinar funnel and you don't want to host a webinar, I would always recommend an appointment funnel or a call booking funnel are the two names for it, depending on how you take those. Either way, the goal is the same, which is to get a lower cost per booked registration. So on ours right now, we're testing the process flow, and that's what we're going to show you guys here. So just a little tip too, this is keywordtool.io. I use this a lot because if you're doing a webinar, so like if I want to make one about running LinkedIn ads, which we do a lot of, this can be some of the questions. I can click YouTube mode here and just see some of the questions. Are LinkedIn ads worth it? How to run LinkedIn ads? Can we run ads on LinkedIn? Does LinkedIn ads work? Do LinkedIn ads work? How does LinkedIn algorithm work? How do LinkedIn ads work? How much do LinkedIn ads cost? How much do paid ads on LinkedIn? How LinkedIn ads work? Things like that. Okay. Ads campaign, ads management, LinkedIn ads. There's even people searching for LinkedIn ads webinar or webinar ad management. There's a lot of different ones. So we use this a lot. Sometimes the keyword suggestions to LinkedIn ad tutorials, LinkedIn ad setup, conversion tracking, LinkedIn ads, B2B, that's one of our big audiences. Campaign management would be a big one. Account setup. So we're going to get into what we're running right now. I'm going to bring you guys our page here. So we just started this page, and we're doing a combination of several things, inviting our prospects. I haven't quite pushed out a newsletter. We're doing short form UGC, like these types of videos, and we benchmark against our competitors. There's a lot of abilities. If you don't have a premium page, I would recommend it. And so we also advertise from here. So as we go to the advertisement, this is what the back end of an advertisement campaign looks like. Now, we do all video ads mostly, unless it's like direct search related, just because video and video creative is exploding. Even the keywords related to creative agency, there's a lot of it hasn't matured. The market hasn't matured, so there's a lot of people that are looking at that, but coming onto a LinkedIn base where it's really far behind and bringing that into a B2B space, especially not in a lower end B2B offer. If you have a higher end B2B offer or an enterprise suite or an omni-channel approach, or you're measuring across multiple platforms, or you're using HubSpot plugged in, there's just so many different opportunities, and there's a lot of different types of funnels depending on the result that you're looking for. But what we did here is we're testing. So we're looking to connect with C-suite executives, marketing entrepreneurs, digital marketers, like agency owners, financial services, mostly like professionals, and B2B. So we broke that campaign out, and we can look at I don't know what the industry benchmark is, but we can do based on conversions and basically take this around. So we have just started this campaign, and cost per 1,000 impressions is $200. Cost per click, $23, which is about average on Google. We tend to average about the same. One of the benefits with LinkedIn is that we run LinkedIn lead form ads, which means people register, and then we push them and ask them to click the next step and register the event. So it goes from a LinkedIn ad to a registration to, it collects their info, and then it drops them on an intermediate page, and then it says, thank you so much, step 1 done, step 2, just register for the event, pick the Tuesday that's best for you. So we host this every Tuesday, same time. And so we can go through these. Cost per 1,000 impressions, we're running $200 per cost per 1,000 impressions. Our cost per click right now is $23. Our cost per view is 47 cents. Cost per lead is 115, and cost per qualified lead, which these are qualified for us because the first registration was a C-suite executive in a SaaS company in Dallas, Texas, and they did register for the webinar. So we have a 100% registration rate on leads that come through. And remember, we are comparing scalable business models, and depending on which one that you're in, a lot of the times, depending on what size ticket you're selling, for a webinar, we recommend under 4,000. If you're selling on a webinar and that's your offering, if you have a high ticket, you might push them to a call out of the webinar after they learn a little bit about it, if they identify and want to ask questions. We have multiple calls to action throughout our webinars, but traditionally we're always trying to inform, and we have a couple lookalikes. So I'm just going to show you guys what's working right now and what we plan on doing. So this shows the back end of our campaign. Now, I can look at my organic posts, which are getting a lot less since we just started this page. But even then, these I can use in the campaign and bring them in. This is a PI related, a personal injury related advertisement. But you can see that we had a higher CTR, so like probably 1 or 2 people. We have higher engagement rates. Same with these. Like as you see that as the click-through rates go, this is what we want to look at, which is interest, and also we want to look at engagement. We do very well organically, and we want to look at our better performing posts. Sometimes that tends to be it. So one of the things I always do is I look at organic and I try to overlap our organic strategy with what we're also covering on our webinars, and also repurpose content from the webinar depending on what you taught. For our paid, we have 5 video creatives here. So all of ours we record. Typically we do talking style UGC with nice backdrops, high-end backdrops, whether it's internal or external. This is Miami, it's Skylines, it's Miami World Center or Brickell City Center. It's right here in Brickell, and it's high rises, it's iconic. There's a lot of things that would register these types of leads. So depending on where we collect these, we can start to see how they go. Now we really already booked calls tend to be less for webinar related leads. So we've got a registration for $115, right? We've gotten a booked call on our appointment engine, which is a webinar, and we're not really pushing anything. We're just talking about what we do, what advertisements are, what are the different options, and then we put a lot of that content out too, right? Since we're building and testing these campaigns. I'm going to show you guys something really interesting here. So this is the first one. This is one of my partners. We have the same copy here. We do square ads because they're scalable across the board. I could have done a little bit of a wider one, but these do really well in the stream. It looks really natural. So our focus here is trying to attract. We have some copy here, but depending on if people are playing or not.
Right now we're in a trust recession. Show-up rates are down. Close rates are down because people don't trust one-on-one sales calls anymore. The solution is selling one-to-many.
And so sales calls,
instead of 5 no-show calls, you get 50.
And then we talk about the benefit, or how our solution solves it, which is selling like a done-for-you webinar system. And what's interesting is this one has the highest engagement rates. You see the same trends across the board. The highest engagement rates are on this. The highest click-through rates are also on here. These are very similar engagement rates. This one has a lower click-through rate, but it's the one that the leaders registered on. This is me saying the same thing. I talk a little bit slower, and I'm a little bit higher energy, and we use different types of ads too, but sometimes people identify with some of those. It's a very similar backdrop, so it's almost A/B. We're saying the same message. We have a certain copy here, which is a results-based copy that's doing well. You can see it took me about 10 seconds slower to say that, just because I speak a little bit slower. So I'll just show you the first 5 seconds.
Right now, we are in a trust recession. Show rates are down, close rates are down, and that's because people don't trust a one-to-one sales call anymore.
And so what we focus on is if you have a top of the funnel acquisition and you're trying to push them to the bottom of the funnel and you're doing the wrong thing, you need a middle of the funnel conversion system, or you can just have one organically. It's more long-term, but it's still a video-based video-based one-to-many selling, and then you can repurpose a lot of content for your YouTubes, Instagrams, TikToks. You know, in reality, I don't think you need to be in all those. We typically focus on YouTube and LinkedIn a little bit more because it's B2B, but you can see that copy is almost identical. So based on that, and you have to advertise through a business page on LinkedIn. Based on that, what we're looking at over here is probably we're going to grow these two will end up sticking out, and then these three will probably end up killing. The messages on these are a little different. This one's more about, let's see here, just
founders or entrepreneurs hit a wall around 20 to.
This is like a little bit about plateauing. That's the copy there. So it talks about plateauing, and it's similar copy across the board, right? But we're testing our video creative. And then these last two are identical. You can see the same backdrops. And these are underperforming right now in this creative set, which is...
And closers grinding on the phone.
Ours was relying on setters and closers, which didn't really identify with a B2B audience. So we're going to probably kill this copy, this creative copy. And that's why we shoot it all at once and then edit. So typically like a LinkedIn ads type management or creative management, that's one of the really, really, really good benefits of being on LinkedIn is you can use a combination of video with B2B. It's not intent-based searching, but it tends to attract really high quality, like C-suite executives, and we are targeting 10 million and up for annual revenue, people that work at a C-suite for businesses between 10 million and 100 million a year, or that may have before, and that means that they're a really high profile target that we want to work with. And then we ask for their LinkedIn because I follow up, send a note, you know, try to add an item of value to what they're doing. That might be later on, but it's a very one-on-one approach, and it helps a lot. So you can't really do that with any other platform, which is why staying within one native platform and picking one is really good. Depending on what industry you're in, it's going to be something that you'd have to look into in your strategy session on how you're growing that. So overall, that's kind of that's what a back end of one of these campaigns looks like. Remember, we push video a lot. This is creative. We shoot a lot. So typically we prefer to have clients either shoot with someone they know, or they can shoot like in their office, depending on what it is. You see, it's not hard. About 50% of the time you're not doing it, but when you stand up, you tend to have a little bit more energy. When you're in a classroom, you have a little bit more energy. So if you're an attorney or if you're a financial advisor, depending on what environment you're typically in, a lot of times that backdrop is fine. There might be someone younger at your firm, or there might be someone younger at what you're doing, or that can help you out. Or if not, then that's the point of the webinar, you know, and back and forth and having a panel, right? So it's one of the really, really good benefits of what we're doing. So we're pushing a webinar funnel through LinkedIn, and we're testing. We killed our Facebook ads. It wasn't getting good results, and we had spent about $150 and gotten maybe one registration, but we'll see the quality, right? So I personally believe that we're going to get higher quality leads from LinkedIn and also YouTube, but our focus is on one LinkedIn. This week we're setting up other lead forms, or we're doing type forms to a Calendly link for a booking funnel. That's for a call booking funnel. We're working on that, which is a more immediate, and we'll do search based or you know, within a funnel there's knowledge of marketing, and if someone knows the problem and the solution, that's where we target, which is bottom of the funnel keyword searches. So we tend to target that for ad management or PPC management or any kind of campaigns, more on purchasing intent. And that's across all industries. When I was in real estate, that would be looking up features of a house, whether it's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, plus a neighborhood or a city or a suburb or a school district. Those are higher intent search volumes than like really low intent searches. So as you're running ads, I think part of the process is looking at keywords and continuing to optimize and trying to pick out those approaches where they're somewhere in between the bottom of the funnel and middle of the funnel, but we tend to focus more on the bottom of the funnel because they can still educate, they can still come to the webinar, they can still check out a lot of our stuff. If I connect with them on LinkedIn, I have a lot of like credibility and authority on the platform, and same with YouTube because we push a lot of the content out across the board. I hope you guys enjoyed the video.